The cosmic sin key, and speaking of a little word and how it's used, the word sin,
Mhm.
we definitely have something we think of when we hear that word. What should we think about in Romans when sin comes up?
In Romans, sin is not just individuals missing the mark. That's what we tend to think of,
Mhm.
right? So sin is when you or I do something that we shouldn't do. That's one way to think about sin. And that's one way that I think Paul thinks about sin in Romans. But in Romans, sin is also a cosmic force that does things and works through, particularly, I think, power structures in the world to influence us. And that's where you get what we've talked about before: little s, lowercase s, sin, which is you and I missing the mark, versus thinking of big S or capital S, sin, in terms of this cosmic force. Now, that's important because, as I said, if one of the things Paul's trying to do is show God to be righteous to the covenant to Abraham by drawing in the Gentiles, right? Jew Gentile relationship. If that's Paul's point. But to do that, Paul has to show how God has been righteous to deal with the problem of sin. So sin is also kind of it's secondary but central, if that makes sense, because Paul has to talk about that to get to the Abraham thing. And so it's secondary but also central to the letter. If that's what's going on, then we have to kind of understand what Paul means when he talks about sin.